I love Age of Empires too. I enjoy the history of the Crusades. And I have watched all Ultimate Guide to 2K ELO from Hera. So let's take the Holy Land. This is Teutons to 2K ELO by Teutons. Jumping into the first game, we are against Vietnamese and he's doing a drush. He managed to push me off the berry successfully while his militia upgrades into men's at arms. But then I lead his military units to my TC, ending with the raid completely. Honestly, I got a little lucky that he didn't pay enough attention to save his military units. Meanwhile, I'm building a stable to do a scout rush. When I arrive at his base, he's almost fully walled and managed to keep 2 of my scouts out of his base. I try to kill 1 villager with my inside scout while the other 2 look for a possible gap, but I lost 2 of my scouts and in the raid. On the meantime, I'm doing some archery range, massing some archers, which was a terrible idea, and you'll see why. He cut my army while mobilizing it and it's divided in 2, so he pretty much wins easily the fight. Now hear me baby raging in a stream. How was he able to mass so much? This was a terrible fight that sets me back for the rest of the game. Now he hits Imperial Age and I'm forced to build a defensive castle so he doesn't break my economy as easy as he would otherwise. Even though I try my best to snipe out his army with my mangonel, his arbalests are too much for my castle age units, so he wins the fight and almost wipes my army out. So fearing he will break my economy, I commit almost all of my foot villagers into the castle, and watch how painful this is. And in the end I managed to build up the castle and that will protect my economy until I get to Imperial Age. But then he goes in with his army and is starting to lay siege to my castles while he's raiding my economy. At this point, I'm starting to feel that I have no comeback chance because my economy is being starved from gold thanks to his archer raids. In desperation, I try to snipe out his bombard cannon with my mangonel. What? But he snipes me. GG. I think there's no way to come back. I lost 15 ELO in the last game. This game is short and I'll leave you with the stream audio. GG. What? That's a tilter if I ever seen one. This dude was like, nah, unplayable, I lost the scout. I grab easily those 16 ELO. This third game is a fortress game, so I'll skip all of the booming from the feudal and dark age. As you can see, I'm comfortably booming while I laid siege to the Inca player's gate as he tries to snipe my mangonel with one of his own, but thanks to the heal I managed to trade 1 for 1 in the end. Then I build another mangonel and continue to lay siege to his gate. I finally crack open his wall and I prepare my knights to go in. While my knights are going in, I snipe his mangonel. Then I see his massive Kamajuk army and decide against the raid. But then he breaks his wall and is eager to fight. But not expecting my 2 Scorpion, I decide that it will be also a good trade for me. So I move my Scorpion forward to kill all of his Kamajuks. I'm not feeling very comfortable with this fight, but I think it's good enough so I will take it. Then I see his monks and decide to take down the monks instead. And thanks to the Teuton in bonus, I'm able to kill all the monks with just 1 conversion, making it a very good cost-effective trade for me in terms of gold. With my leftover knights I decide to do a little raid, which accomplishes nothing. Then I try to castle the hill, but he has more Kamajuks and I bail it out. He chases down my villagers to the place I was massing my scorpions and I wiped this little Kamajuk army. In the meantime, I'm trying to trap down his main castle. While I'm losing the trap war, even though I tried to repay my castle, he managed to take it down. I keep attacking his castle with my own trebuchets until his castle falls. And it's better for me because he's making Kamajuks and I'm not making Teutonic Knights. I tried to save my trebuchets but I couldn't. I decide to castle the middle gold. Then I see his Eagle Warrior raid into my economy. So I unleash the might of my Crusading Paladins into his puny army. And then I proceed to castle the lower half of the map so I can control it. After I wipe out his Eagle Warriors and finish up the construction of the lower half of the map castle, I spot he's placing a middle castle. Even though he has a lot of halberdiers, I start to trap down his constructing castle, and he overchases my paladin, so gives me an opening to snipe out his trebuchets. He realizes the poor micromanagement of his army and tries to fix it, but it's too late, since my army is on horse, is faster than his and leave most of his halberdiers behind. And now, I'm all alone with the trebuchets. And thanks to the mobility of my paladins, I'm also able to take a good trade into his halberdiers as they are not together. With the help of my scorpions, I successfully kill all of his halberdiers. After their war is won, I successfully trap down his castle. He took a massive hit in that fight, so I'm able to trap down his other castle unpunished. Then I quickly reposition to trap down his most northern castle. At this point, I have successfully been able to amass a significant amount of scorpions, so his Kamayuks plus pikemen are nothing to my scorpions. Even though he took my trebuchets, I was able to take down his castle. Then I trapped down his last castle, leaving him without Kamayuks. So I got the GG for him and the game ends. And with the victory, we earn 15 ELO. This last game was messy all over the place. The enemy tries to tower rush me with the Korean civilization. Luckily, I managed to take down his scout early, and since all my resources are far back, I'm able to place a single tower and defend all of my vital resources. Since he saw my defensive tower, he decides to bail out his construction. Good one, buddy. And build a second tower next to my berry. Then he builds one next to my stables. Or so he tries, as I unleash my 2 scouts onto his villagers, making them fall back all the way to his previously built towers. I even managed to kill one of his forward villagers. After I chase the villagers down to the first tower, he decides to send them to the other tower. But as fate will have it, I lost my 2 scouts because I was too busy managing my economy. Then I proceed to create more scouts to prevent his villagers from completing the northern tower. I managed to join one of his villagers with my scout, but he arrives with more. As he's beginning to encircle, I decide to take a fight with some of my villagers and pushes him back so I can take up some stone and build a tower of my own. I build up my tower, and since Teuton towers are better than Koreans because I can carry some more, I'm confident I can take down his tower. I win the tower fight and destroy it. I go first to castle and make some knights and raid his economy. I kill some of his villagers, but this is where it gets interesting. I spot his villagers going to my base, wanting to castle drop me. Thanks to the pressure of my knights, he turns back to his base. At this point, I almost have enough stone for a castle, so I decide to use his idea against him and I castle drop him. This is a fairly conservative castle, but I gain control of his stones, which is what I wanted. Now I'm making some rams to clear out the remaining towers in my base. As I finish my forward castle, I decide to build a siege workshop so I can go full in and commit to siege his town centers. As I am working in my economy, I spot a random enemy house in my base, which means his castle dropping me. This has now fully developed into a base race, and now we both are raiding each other's economy. But I'm feeling pretty confident since I'm about to mangonel down his middle DC. As my rams finally clear out the remainder of his towers, I send it to his castle, redirecting his war wagons to my rams, winning me some precious time. As he's defending his forward castle, he fails to react to my pressure in his base, so I end up mangoneling down his town center. And to keep the pressure up, I decide to attack his other town center with my mangonel. This is all been happening while he can't take down my rams. Although he's no longer raiding my economy, he's taking my resources with his villagers. As I make another mangonel, then a third one, to siege faster his town center, he was able to repel my rams as I destroy his second town center. Then I unleash my military units in his surviving villagers. When my cavalry attacks the villagers, I decide to send my mangonels to the last and final town center. At this point, the damage I have done in his economy is pretty substantial, so his economy is pretty exhausted and calls the GG. This game was pretty messy, but we ended up with the W and ended with 1354 ELO.
Oh guys, I didn't see you there.
Those both brothers. Enough gimmicks. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for the volume support. In the last video, it actually meant a lot to me. If you have in mind something I should change, I am open to new ideas. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to press a like, share this video,